Thank you for joining us. Let's get started on some of the top business headline here on the program. Nigeria faces a gloomy economic future as the international investment position recorded a lower net financial liability of 74.48 billion at the end of 2022. That's the data from the Central Bank of Nigeria. So talk to us about this. Charles Fakroha, who is the iBrandTV analyst, joins us via the telephone now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us again. So let's quickly look at this story. So much anxiety and worry because Nigeria's foreign investment is going down. And if you look at the figure in 2022, the figure went down by 20%, dropping to 74.48 billion in terms of foreign inflow investment into Nigeria. Talk to us about what are the factors do you think are responsible for the continuous decline in the attraction of the amount of money that we attract into the economy?
Yeah, thank you very much. People like us, we are not surprised because for you to create an enabling environment to attract not only foreign investors, but even domestic investors, the enabling environment has not been created. So even if you are making it difficult for domestic investors, you don't expect foreign investors to come into the country. Even what we call portfolio investment, once the environment is not conducive, then you will not see investment come to. But for foreign direct investment, it is much more difficult because those ones, before they even come to your country, they must have looking at certain metrics. And if those metrics are not too favorable for them, and even if it's favorable, then they are looking at the nearest future, and they are saying that yes, things are a little bit gloomy, then of course they will not want to come to the country. So one of the first factors that I consider most importantly for this decline by over 20%, for me, is the enabling environment, the business climate in the country. That is one. Then the second one I would consider is security, trust, government regulations, government policy, and of course the average attitude of the Nigerian business person or the Nigerian and the perception that the international community have of us. We have been told in customer service that the customer's perception is the entrepreneurial, the businessman's reality. So if the businesses are not a people to be trusted, it's difficult for foreign investors to begin to come to the country. However, we are seeing some little improvements.
However, we must begin to do something. Something must be done urgent, as a matter of urgency, to address this continuous decline. We have to stop it, isn't it? And so, because that's also create a kind of perception that the Nigerian investment climate is not investable. But we must have to change that. Quickly, let's look at the second story, which talk about the concessionaire of airport in Kano and Abuja. And according to federal government, they are to generate about 800 million US dollars. That's across 20 to 30 years, because the privatization shows that, the concession arrangement shows that the arrangement will be able to generate about 800 million US dollars across 20 to 30 years. So talk to us about this. We still remember the agitation by some of the union members who kicked against concessioning some of the airport across the state. But the reason the federal government gave a damn was that it is better to concession than to privatize. What's your take?
Yes. Well, again, it is an issue of trust deficit. People no longer trust this outgoing administration because they have just barely 2 weeks to go, and you are seeing some of these major economic decisions they are taking. One would have expected that these decisions have been taken long ago so that Nigerians can see the implementation. Yes, I would agree in principle with the government that yes, when you concession, you tend to get money from the concessionaire. And it's not unlike privatization, yes, when government completely remove their hand from that business. However, what is consent, it's a concession agreement or even privatization, the workers have to be taken into consideration because the workers are a very integral part of all this process. Yes, I agree with the consent with the concession, that the workers must be carried along, so that the man who is coming, the concessionaire, should be able to do things for the worker, because most of the operations will still be carried out by these workers. So if the workers are not carried along, they become a problem. Yes, a concession agreement, is a contract that gives the company the right to operate a specific business within the government jurisdiction. So if the government is saying, this is also this government business, the government is saying, we cannot do it now, so we are giving you to do it, and of course, this and what we're expected to be paying to us. However, government still maintains regulation of that particular industry. It's a very good development that the workers have to be carried along.
But when you look at the duration, because the information is saying that that almost 800 million naira, if you put that figure, that's about 360.8 billion naira as concession fees and taxes from the concessionaire. So if you look at the duration, do you think this figure is significant enough?
Yes, it might not be significant enough, but it is something that when government is running it 100%, and of course we keep having a lot of strikes here and there, cancellation of so many things and all that. So yes, we have also said that government and no business being in government, but there are also some critical service, some critical aspects that government cannot completely remove their hands from, and that's why they are adopting this method of concessioning, which has been tested all over the world, and we have seen examples. Of course, it has been done even in the U.S., where governments will concession certain critical infrastructure, certain critical services, even airports, even seaports, even correctional services. So it has worked in those clients, and I believe it can work in Nigeria here if the right framework is put in place, and of course, government, carries the workers along. And let us see. Yes, the time frame is a little bit long, but it is better than running it and the government is not having any revenue from it.
There is also an aspect of the argument whether concessioning is better than privatization. I mean, some argue for and against that. Perhaps we need to consider concessioning more government assets than privatizing them. So just in 20 seconds, so yes or no answer, perhaps, if you would like to react to that. Which one is better really for the economy? I mean, it's a growing economy.
It depends on that aspect. When it comes to national security, I would not recommend privatization. But for issues like the airports, seaports, I would agree concessioning. But at the same time, that is why it is concessioning. Government will still maintain the regulation of that operation. So I prefer concessioning than full privatization.
Okay, so let's move on now. Perhaps it's one of the biggest stories, because if you look at the earnings of some of the banks in the first quarter, perhaps this story justifies it. It's saying that Nigerian commercial banks' assets, grow by about 25.12%, 25.12% to 78 trillion, and that's the total asset for the Nigerian, commercial banks. So talk to us about this. It looks like the winners here is not just the sector, but investors in the banking sector, specifically those banks who are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Yes, again, this is one of the issues we are seeing. There are certain services that it is left in the hands of the private sector. This is one. So you can see all these are private companies. In fact, in the past when we had government having interest in banks, you can see that we will not be able to generate this kind of performance. But you can see these are private companies, and you can see how they've been able to grow their assets and other valuable projects for themselves. Yes, this shows that the banking sector in Nigeria is being run very well. We must give kudos not only to the operator, but of course the central bank and of course NDIC, saying that yes, there are challenges in the banking sector, but they are on top of the game, and that's why we are seeing that the figures that these banks are always bringing out, is like you have said, it's good for investors.